Ladies, you gotta compete for your man if you want that man to realize that you are a keeper. See, Americans are a rarity and a specialty here in Germany. So when my husband, back then boyfriend, came to visit me in Germany back in '06, I had to prove to him that I was better than everybody he dated before and that I'm going to be better than everybody that he could possibly date in the future. So I took the man on trips. I bought him everything that he wanted to have and stuff that he didn't even want to have. And I had to let him know, look, I adore you. I appreciate you coming all the way from America to Germany and come visit me, and I have to prove to you, and I will do everything and anything that is in my power to show you that I am the one. Why am I saying this? I just want to tell you, gentlemen, that there are women who will compete for you. So ladies, compete for your man if you want him to know that you're a keeper, and if you don't want to compete for him, don't be mad if he doesn't want to compete for you.
The men are right. We need to start dressing more modestly in the gym.
No, just put a shirt and pants on.
Oh my God, shut the
And she commented on your video saying, she's the woman in the clip. Thank you for saying this. All for his glory, right? Yeah, because his glory wants you posting underwear pictures of yourself in the gym. Do Christian women like you just ignore this modesty verse in the Bible or something? Training all covered up, something you've tried before, meaning putting a shirt and pants on, makes you feel anxious because it's hot, sweaty, and irritable. But going to the gym dressed as legally naked as possible doesn't make you feel anxious.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
Always the same deflection of, it's just a joke, it's just a... No, it's not. There's tens of thousands of angry females in your comments mad about the fact that I struck a nerve of truth. And now they need to call their father and apologize.
The only reason an Asian woman would marry you is because of the prospect of a better life.
You go find a wife in the Philippines or Thailand or wherever these places are that are overseas. They're just happy to be rescued from their poverty-stricken life of no opportunity.
You may or may not be able to speak English properly.
And if you want to call us uneducated and poor, that we will get any opportunity we can get just so we can get out of poverty. Men are supposed to be providers, so they are going to provide for their future partners and family. The bottom line is, we have what they are looking for.
And you're jealous. That's exactly what it is with this double standard. You strong, independent women say, I want a man to come pay these bills. I'm tired of working. But when somebody from another country, a wife that wants to act right, says they want the same thing, then they're being taken advantage of. That's crazy.
I think one of the easiest ways to see how much men don't actually see women as people is to look at widowers.
Right. Let's do that. Because after all, that would make perfect sense. Take the behaviors and possible feelings of a small portion of the population and then come to the reasonable conclusion that the majority of the population must share in those behaviors and possible feelings. Okay.
Like, do you know how fast those men remarry just to have another warm body in their bed and someone making warm meals for them? Do you know how fast they will find another woman to parent their own children because they need a mother?
Does a person understand even how utterly ridiculous this sounds? Because unbeknownst to them, apparently, many men who unfortunately lose their wives to an unfortunate circumstance often choose not to remarry. So they are taking an even smaller portion of an already small portion of an entire population and using it to judge the rest of that population.
It doesn't matter that they are that child's actual parent, and it doesn't matter if the woman they find is not that kid's actual mother, because it's all the same to them, because women mother.
They're really trying, aren't they?
As long as that woman is a woman, it doesn't matter if she's actually that child's mother, as long as she's a woman. Do you see how diabolical that is?
Diabolical? Oh, I know what's really diabolical here. And it's the fact that in order to try to push a certain narrative, someone is leaving out a lot of statistical information that is freely available on this subject. Because while it is true that widowers are more likely to remarry as compared to widows within the first year, the percentage of widowers who choose to do so is only about 25 to 30% of widowers. And in fact, a lot of men, although they may enter into a relationship more often than women do after the loss of a spouse, it's about 75 to 80% of men will actually remain unpartnered. I wonder why they left out that very critical piece of information.
Guy says, I must consult my wife with like a barf emoji. Yeah. Like how cringe it is for a guy to say, well, I need to ask my wife first.
Being able to say, I don't need to ask my wife. I'm going to do what I want. That benefits the men. And the conservative women will oftentimes criticize the men that have this mindset. Masculinity is only celebrated when it's in service of women. So if there's ever an aspect of masculinity that only helps the men, that's only good for the men, there's always a caveat. But whenever they talk about, obey your husband in all things, if who we pick for the father of our kids often is not great, why?
And they say that they want effective communication. That's crazy.
The feminist movement is one of the biggest reasons for the divorce rate these days, because women have become so masculine. If a woman gets in her masculine energy, a lot of times she'll be disrespectful to her husband. And men don't do well with disrespect. There's surveys that say that 80% of men say they would rather be alone and unloved than to be disrespected. And see, the feminist movement has taken it so far over the years. It's not just equal rights anymore. Now it's men are being diminished and devalued and demoralized. What do we need men for? We don't need men. We can buy our own cars and we can vote. We can make our own money, run our own businesses. We can even have babies without men. And that makes men feel awful. A man doesn't feel he has anything to contribute to that woman's life. He's got to move on down the road.
Okay, I'm going to cook here. Ready? Just listen. Just listen. Maturity for a man is when he realizes that he should be the one pursuing a woman. Okay? Now, this is going to get some of you guys like, oh my gosh. Maturity for a woman is when she realizes that forcing a man to chase her is not the idea, but rather a man should be pursuing her. Because maturity for a woman, if she allows a man to pursue her while she's staying still, that's mature. Now, when a woman is standing there and a man is trying to pursue her and she starts running, that's a man chasing her. There's a huge difference, because a man is going to give up on pursuing a woman when she starts running from him and she wants him to chase her. How is that mature? It's not. A woman has to stay in one position and allow that man to pursue her.
This is why you have to dog women out when you first start talking to them. When you give a woman everything, she'll leave you with nothing. My brother, welcome back to the streets. And it's a ruthless, ruthless environment. I'm gonna tell you that right now. These women, you don't bring flowers on the first date. It's a waste of time. When you're a true gentleman to a woman, she's gonna sabotage it. You're literally too good for her. So although you might be frustrated, she did you a huge favor. She knew that she was gonna waste your time. And that's just the reality of a lot of high value men in this dating market. These women aren't worth your time, your resources, or your loving gestures. So stop even trying to give it to them. Everything you see online when women say, oh, I want to be treated right, this is what happens when you treat them right. This is what happens. So many good men literally turn evil because of situations like this. And girls wonder, oh, why don't men respect women? Oh, why do guys act like dogs? Because the moment you do the right thing by a woman, I'm telling you, you're going to sit there and regret it. You're going to wish you was the worst version of yourself. This literally brings out the worst version of so many men. But you just have to realize and learn these women are not worth the effort. They're not like our mothers and grandmothers. All these loving things that we grew up seeing in TV and movies, it doesn't work with these type of women. They're toxic, brother. They say they want all these loving things and they go back and they do this. And then yet the same type of woman will still post on her social media story, oh, I want a man to treat me like this, treat me like that. The moment you treat them well, it ends poorly. Every single time. So my brother, just get back out here, do your thing. Don't worry about these women, bro. I'm telling you, put them through the ringer, every single one. Let this be a learning moment moving forward. She needs to earn those gestures. We don't need to give them anything up front. It's trust fund baddies only, pour no more.
Sure, she likes hanging out with you, but why does she only see you as a friend? Because just getting along isn't enough to build romantic attraction. What's missing is anticipation, that spark that makes her feel something deeper. Think about every rom-com you've ever watched. There's this moment when the character locked eyes. The background music swells, and you lean in, waiting to see what happens next. That's tension. That's anticipation. And that's exactly what makes her excited to learn more about you. So how do you create it in real life? Hold eye contact just a second longer. Pause before you answer. Instead of rushing to fill silence, tease her playfully. Instead of keeping it too safe. These little moments build a spark that she can't stop thinking about. And without them, you'll always be just the friend. Save this so we can come back to it later, and don't forget to follow and share if you find this helpful. And
Let me just say I do appreciate, I think her name is Coach Seashells, for giving that. You know, women want tension, they want this and that. I think over time, I think a lot of men could figure that out. I think they don't anymore, because even before you get to the tension, the criticism and the feedback is way too harsh, right? I think it's okay for a woman to get frustrated. Everybody gets frustrated. And she says, just come and approach me. I'm waiting on you. Just come and approach me. Okay, right? Oh, here it is. Let me take you out. Want to go get some coffee sometime? Not like that. Don't. And now the man is like, whoa, because she's going off the deep end. I don't want that. Get out of. And now you're acting spoiled. Now you're acting like a brat. No man wants that. Bars. Nobody wants that, man. Nobody wants somebody to be entitled. He don't know. Start off slow. Bars again. Bars. I'm on a roll right now. He don't know. So, easy. Take it easy. Start slow. Hey, you want to go get something to eat? Well, what do you like? Oh, just plan it. What do you like? I don't know. I like burgers. I like tacos. I like it doesn't have to be over the top, but I like nice things. If you can find something, okay. And then you go, okay, she likes burgers. Where's a nice burger spot at? It gives them some sense of direction. The modern women aren't doing that. And so when men are like, okay, if I have to sit up here and guess and do all of these things and be all of these things, by the time I get to this date, I'm not trying to do nothing. You have to understand. When you think of how you feel when you do all of the work as a woman, right? Well, you say you do. Well, I got the mental load and this, and at the end of the night, he expects me to sleep with him. But do that exercise in reverse for a man. I have to do this, and this. And then at the end of the day, she wants me to be happy to pay for her. Why would I be happy about that? Why would I set everything up for her convenience and be happy to pay for her, and she didn't even like it? She didn't even really do anything. Why would I be happy for that? I'm doing all the work. I'm doing everything. And now I gotta give you more satisfaction and validation. Why? But y'all don't think about that. Y'all will go straight to the sex example. I have to do everything all day, and then now you want me to, be ready for you and be hot and serve it to you on a silver platter. I'm tired. Bingo.
How do you date a feminist?
You don't. That's how you do it. I don't know about y'all boys, but I don't want to be in a relationship with a woman whose sole intent is to make me feel as irrelevant and unnecessary as possible. I don't know, but I like appreciation. You can be in that relationship. That's cool. But that's not for me. I'm all about female empowerment.
Right. All day.
I know feminism, though. Right. That new feminism is all about saying how we can replace y'all because we don't need men in the world.
If we walking up to the car and I don't open your car door, what do you say?
Open the door.
You better believe it.
Yeah, no, I am with you. I think
so. You make daddy a sandwich.
I think.
So we talked about down the road and the potential of us getting married and having kids. How do you feel about a prenup?
I mean, I have been exposed to so many women that are moms, that are married in relationships that they're going through a divorce process and they have nothing.
Yeah.
And they're starting literally from ground zero. One of my biggest fears is, thinking you have everything and you're good and then just getting the rug pulled out from underneath you. So I never want to be in a position where that happens to me.
Yeah. Okay. So in my personal opinion, like you lived your entire life without me in it until a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like coming into it, you should keep whatever you've built,
Mm-hmm.
and I should keep whatever I've built.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we start together on a journey of marriage and down that path, then we put everything 50-50.
Yeah,
But I
mean,
do think a prenup is necessary for the both of us.
yeah. I just hear so much regret and they wish they could have done something differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Talking about divorce already feels so unnatural. I don't want to talk about that. It makes me realize that we really have been living in a bubble, and in reality, we kind of really just met.
I just don't even, I don't know.
Trying to get to know a woman in 2026 is rough as hell. I still ask the basic questions like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? Favorite movie? Favorite hobbies? You know what I'm saying? Just to fill a woman out so I can see what type of woman I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of women see that as small talk, static, talking to a brick wall. But if I ask questions like, how much is your rent? How much is your nails? How much is your hair? Oh, now they ready to talk. These hoes be so money hungry that they don't even want to know about them. But when y'all have unwanted pregnancies, y'all want to act like you the victim. You don't know nothing about him and he don't know nothing about you. All y'all care about is what you gonna do for Big Mama for real. I'm not doing nothing for Big Mama, but nothing. What? Big Mama. Y'all so goofy nowadays. I didn't know that genuinely trying to get to know you was lame, goofy, small talk. Y'all only speak Cash App. Y'all only speak Apple Pay and shit. You is that money hungry. And it's so goofy. Now y'all wonder why y'all can't find no real man. Now y'all wonder why I only want to. You operate like a that only want to get the out of here, ho.
One day women just don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth.
Do you believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
I'm 6'4", only about what? 8% of the entire world is 6'4". I make well over 100K a year. And I'm black at that if you add that on. So just if we're speaking about those figures, the things that women are attracted to, no, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'll let you do the math.
The conversation and the words that are coming out of the mouth of someone like you, I would never consider top tier. A man who displays a certain level of intellect that allows him to consider other people. A top tier man, they lead with love, not with dictatorship.
Okay. Notice it says absolutely nothing about love, right? Where is she getting this from?
They don't want to control their woman. They want to gently lead their woman.
A man who can't control his woman doesn't have a woman. She belongs to whoever can control her, right? If he can't control her, how can he save her from herself when the time calls for it, right? This is where she injects feminist talking points that will hopefully influence beneficial outcomes for women.
A top tier man creates space for a woman to feel good about herself.
This is where the conversation, as usual, becomes all about women.
A top tier man supports the dreams and the ideas of a woman. A top tier man prioritizes a woman.
A top tier man does not prioritize a woman. A top tier man prioritizes the orders that he receives from God Almighty. Next, he prioritizes his purpose. You see how she's setting the stage to influence men who may be listening to start treating women how she wants women to get treated, even though it has absolutely nothing to do with the definition of top tier. This is how selfish they are. Everything is about them. Everything.
Man is in leadership and working as hard as he is to give the woman the life of her dream.
Give the woman the life of her dreams? There we go, people. We were supposed to be talking about the definition of top tier men, but she found a way to make everything about women and giving women everything that they want. The nature of a woman is so diabolical. I wouldn't want to be this selfish if I could get away with it. They make absolutely everything about them, yet you never hear them discussing what they can do for anybody else. Ain't that something?
we need to make something very clear. As a man, I don't care if you are a personal trainer, I don't care if you are a Pilates instructor, I don't care if you are a professional athlete. You have no privilege to speak about a woman's body. You have zero right, you have zero privilege to be speaking about a woman's body, to be judging their movements, to be speaking about their metabolism, whether they have a good metabolism or a bad metabolism. You have zero right to speak about a woman's body. You know why? Because you're uneducated. You don't know. You really, at the end of the day, don't know. And I can say that with certainty because even the healthcare professionals don't know. There's not enough studying, there's not enough research on a woman's body. So to say this as nicely as possible, shut the up. Unless a woman is coming to you seeking your professional advice on her body or what she needs to be doing for movement, shut the up. No one asked you. You are not a woman, you are a man, and that's it, period. No privilege.
So do you think that with this line of reasoning that you have the authority to speak on what a man is? Like whenever I hear some women say, well, that's not a real man, or a man wouldn't do that, or a real man would do this. With this line of logic, do you think that you can actually speak on what men do? What a man actually is? You know what I mean? Like, at some point in time, just because you're laying out in the park in the hot sun, enjoying a little bit of sunshine, does not really give you the license to sit out there and say stupid stuff. It doesn't. You can't keep on saying that type of stuff. It makes no sense. And the thing is, in your heart of hearts, you know it doesn't make any sense. Not logically, not emotionally, not anything. Not a good argument for anything. You know that. If this is the way you're thinking, you need to get up from there, go home and take a nap. You need to refresh your mind. You need to go get something good to eat. Your local bakery, Panera Bread, a buffet if that's what you like. That's the kind of thing that you're into. Whatever you need to do to fill yourself up, then go get some rest to make sure all your systems are appropriately fueled and energized so that you won't come back on here and make statements like that.
So this article has been going around and we gotta talk about it. Because ladies, this affects you too. I know the dating pool out there is getting slimmer and slimmer. And this is what's going on. Men need to wake up because women no longer need a man or a relationship to be happy and be fulfilled in their lives. Trust me, I spent a lot of years singles. Yes, I had healing to do. Yes, was that struggle for me? Yes, did I want a relationship? 100%. But I also spent that time working on myself, traveling the world, building a career, and I didn't need a partner. So it gave me the ability to take my time and find someone who truly added value to my life. This is what women are doing these days. We don't need men. We would like them. It would be nice to have one, but it's not a must-have. So women, do not feel bad if you are struggling to find a man. Keep your standards high and wait. I didn't meet my man until I was 34 and it was worth it because now I have a true partner who brings something to my life. He brings value. We bring value to each other's lives. But let me tell you, I dated so many like boys that I would have never committed to because God, what would they be bringing to my life except for a headache? So this is time for men to wake up. And guess what? The right men are going to wake up. They're going to put in the effort. They're going to bring things to the table. And ladies, we just have to hold out for them and let these fuckboys be lonely and single. See ya.
So I agree with a lot of what Stacey is saying. A lot of these modern women, it's just talking points that aren't grounded in anything but their feelings, right? Well, yeah, you're in a dictatorship. Not really. It's just like you were saying. If you're saying I want me a man of God, then the man of God is going to be following God and what's in the Bible, right? Number one. Number two, at that point in time, it's going to be, okay, we got to fulfill the mission and the vision. And then I've got to be the ruler, the head, as the Bible talks about, of my family, of my household. That's my job, right? Nobody is bigger than the vision. Nobody is bigger than the goal. And that's what a lot of modern women are doing. They're trying to say, okay, I should be your number one priority. No, the goal, the vision is the number one priority. That's where we're trying to go. even if I wasn't with you, then I would have to be going towards that goal anyway. You what you're saying, because that's what a helpmeet is, what you're saying is, I have skills to do that. I want to come alongside you and help. Okay, great. Nobody said anything about being a servant. Nobody said anything about being somebody's maid. You just said, I want to come along and help. Okay, well, let's go. I'm going to tie myself to this woman. She's going to tie herself to me. And we're making a commitment, making a pact, we're making a covenant, legally and spiritually, that we're going to go in this direction together. That's essentially what you're saying. Right? But y'all say, okay, he wooed me with this stuff over here. So as long as he's giving me all of this stuff, I will support his vision. And we're not talking about love. We're not talking about respect, honor. We're talking about as long as he pays me this much, or covers these expenses. As long as he takes me on these types of trips, then I'm going in that direction. But if he don't, this whole marriage is null and void. None of it matters. And they'll be quick to say that.
Once a man gets a taste of Jezebel, it's really, really hard for him to want to pursue a Ruth anymore. Some Christian men are not pursuing Christian women right now because some of them are still attracted to Jezebel and Delilah. Yes, I said it. It is going to be very, very hard for a Christian man to want to pursue a Ruth or an Abigail if he's still attracted to Jezebels and Delilahs. I don't know if you remember or not, but we're literally in a spiritual war right now, and the enemy does not want you to get married, sis. The enemy does not want your husband to be attracted to you. Let's take Samson, for instance. Samson was attracted to the very women he was called to deliver the Israelites from. He was attracted to the Philistine woman. His father literally said, Samson, why don't you choose a woman from your own tribe? Samson didn't want to. He was so consumed with the Philistines and then Delilah's, even though there was a good woman within his own people that would have been great for him. Do you think that's not happening today? There is a man that the Lord has ordained for you, but oftentimes the enemy may want to send him a Jezebel or a Delilah so that he no longer wants to be attracted to the Proverbs 31 woman. And because of that, you need to continuously pray. Lord, change his appetite. Lord, if he's attracted to a Jezebel right now, change his appetite so that he can be attracted to what's actually good for him. So instead of complaining, get into your prayer closet and start praying. And that's when you're going to see some real change.
A single friend told me that she feels like she's going to be alone forever, that no one wants her, and she wanted me to share something that helped her feel a bit better. So here it is. I know that feeling. When everyone around you seems to be finding someone and you're left wondering if it's ever going to happen for you. It's so easy to believe that love just isn't in the cards or that maybe you're too difficult to love. But I want you to know something important. Your worth isn't tied to whether or not you're in a relationship. Sometimes being alone gives you the space to really discover who you are. It gives you time to grow into the best version of yourself. So when love does come, you'll be ready for that kind of relationship that's meaningful, supportive, and genuine. Being single doesn't mean that love is impossible for you. It doesn't mean you're not good enough, and it definitely doesn't mean you're always going to be alone. Sometimes it just means that your path is different, and different doesn't mean worse. It means the right person is still out there, and while it may not happen on the timeline you want, that doesn't make it any less possible or any less beautiful. I want you to remember that you are enough as you are. Love doesn't always happen when you expect it to, but that doesn't mean you won't find it. And when the time is right, it'll come, and it'll make sense why everything took the time it did.
If you're in a relationship and you're still talking to your ex, outside of kids, co-parenting outside of that, if you're still talking to an ex, people you used to date, people you slept with, you're not just being friendly, you're keeping options. And let's stop playing this game like it's normal. If you're texting someone who used to want you, laughing with someone who had access to you, keeping that door slightly open just in case, that's not maturity. That's a lack of discipline. And for the person on the receiving end, that feeling is in your chest. That tension is in your gut. Okay? That's not insecurity. That's discernment. Because boundaries aren't about control. They're about protection. Protection of your peace, your respect, connection you're trying to build. And let's be real. If the roles were reversed, okay, you would not be okay with it either. So stop normalizing behavior you wouldn't tolerate coming back to you. People who are serious about you don't keep emotional backups. They make a decision and they move accordingly. If someone still has access to your partner, I'm going to tell you this, you're not exclusive. You're in competition.
It is crazy how when we get into a relationship with a man, it's no longer on our timing as a woman. You see, a man can get married in less than 6 months, or he can wait 5 to 7 years. It depends on that woman. Men don't rush into marriage at all. They just move fast when certainty shows up. People often think getting married fast is super impulsive, but it's actually clarity. If you haven't noticed how the world runs, men move fast when the right conditions exist. Here's what's usually present when a man gets married super fast. Number one, that woman brings him peace. Being with that woman feels easier than being alone because there's no emotional roller coaster, there's no drama and no chaos. Number two is respect. He feels respected in how she talks to him, how she trusts him, and also supports his leadership. Number three is emotional safety. He can talk to her and be honest without anything being used against him later. Number four is consistency. Her energy, affection, and behavior don't change based on milestones or pressure. Number five, she believes in him. She believes in his vision even when results haven't shown up yet. Number six is alignment. They want the same life, values, direction, not just love. When all of those things exist in a woman, a man does not feel rushed. He actually feels secure. And we all know when a man feels secure, he's not waiting. He's going to get what he wants.
I'm a horrible woman and I make content for other horrible women, so if you're seeing this, consider yourself called out. What qualifies me to make content for horrible women, you may ask? Well, I have this nose ring, no children, and have recently embraced the philosophy that it's better for me to say yes to all opportunities presented to me, if for no other reason than to make sure that a man does not get them. I also have hairy legs and routinely wear shorts, so I know what I'm doing. I worry that some of you are at risk of expressing sympathy for men today, so I would like to help you remain callously indifferent to the suffering of lonely men by asking you to consider the loneliness of women. We often hear reference to the male loneliness epidemic, and women will frequently make the point that while single men might be lonely, single women are not, and this is accurate. However, I do think that we have a female loneliness problem. It's just that I think it is largely affecting married and partnered women. Many women partnered with men are desperately lonely despite being situated within a seemingly intimate relationship. Being chronically emotionally, intellectually, and sexually unfulfilled despite being part of a dyad which in theory should elicit that sort of fulfillment while constantly making bids for connection which go unanswered is a special ring of Partnering with men is not guaranteed to be a solution to female loneliness and can in fact result in experiencing a new flavour of loneliness which is arguably more soul-destroying. Being lonely because there is nobody intimately present in your life is difficult. However, being lonely despite there being somebody intimately present in your life is especially miserable, and I suspect is a misery which is largely suffered by women in relationships with men. Ironically, women doing their bit to solve the male loneliness epidemic by partnering with men may find themselves experiencing a far more crushing form of loneliness than those men ever did when they were single. Have you ever suffered loneliness inside of an intimate relationship and have since left the relationship? If so, let us know how things have changed for you. And for everybody who is at risk of being nice today, I hope this discussion will help you be difficult and unresponsive to the needs of men all day long. If you're a horrible woman or someone flirting with the idea of being difficult and making a scene, head on over to my page to find more motivating content like this.
Has a man ever told you that 80% of women are going after the top 20% of men, and that's why there's this epidemic of men that can't find partners?
Anyway, they set the stat that was like 20% of people joining dating sites at that time were already married. And I was like, that's crazy. So then I just looked up, did my own little research. You want to know how many people now joining dating apps are already in a relationship or married? 65%. 65%. They did a study last year, and over 2/3 of people joining Tinder were already in a relationship or married. That's insane. And people wonder why it is so hard for this.
I can't switch the fact that we're only attracted to 20% of men. Okay, I can't change that. I can't change the fact that half of women by 2030, this is 6 years away, half of women are going to be single and childless. This was a study done by bankers, not people that have a political agenda. So if you're married to be, I always say that if we banned side chicks, if we made it illegal or something, the first people that would complain are women. There are women that go to NBA games trying to get men to cheat on their wives.
Women are putting a lot of harsh things out there on the internet. So tell me what you're seeing.
Women going online and saying things like, you don't need a man, never rely on a man. If you depend on a man as a protector and a provider, then you're going to end up single and alone, because when you turn 40, he's going to trade you in for a new 20-year-old chick. Women are going for those kind of guys and then saying all guys are like them, which just true. But then when you ask a woman, what do you look for in a partner? The first thing they will say, he needs to be financially stable. You ask these women, do you want a guy to pay on a first date? Well, for a woman who's so-called an independent boss,
and can handle herself, they seem to expect the guy to pay. The expectations of men haven't changed from when I was 5 till now.
Right.
Be chivalrous, be kind, pay for this, that, and the other. But yet the expectations of women, so far as women are concerned, is you can't expect me to cook, you can't expect me to clean, your money is my money is also my money, and essentially treat me like a princess, and if you dare ask for anything in return, well, then you're a misogynist. You're a terrible guy, you're a monster.
Just bear with me for a sec, it's about to get real stupid.
Everybody gotta do it like, I'm gonna get my hair done right now. Can you help me out, baby?
This is a huge problem in the dating market, ladies, because a lot of you are taking advice from your friends, and your friends are getting that advice from 304s. This is a literal whore playbook, and I don't understand how y'all don't see it. She has the song playing in the background, Nasty Dancer, Dancer for Money. Hello? Like, are we not seeing the signs here? I don't know where the algorithm messed up and women started taking advice from just any pretty girl they see online, but some of you are really taking advice from and then applying that to your day-to-day life and trying to figure out why isn't this working for me? Why aren't I getting men to pay for things the way that they do? Because they're and you're probably not, or at least trying not to be, I hope. Right? So I need you all to take relationship advice from people that are in happy, healthy relationships and marriages. Not your friend who wants that man to pay for your lashes because they know you can't afford it. That's not the reason to date. This is ridiculous. Please stop taking advice from women like this.
What's funny is that, you know, I think there was one woman talking about, oh man, you really got to pray this Jezebel, you know, spirit, this appetite for Jezebel off these men. I don't think that men are going to need help with that, particularly because you can go a little bit further into the video and you have a clip of a woman, you know, she's not doing it directly, but she's basically saying married women and partnered women are suffering. They're suffering really bad. Their life is terrible. It's horrible. I'm not lonely, and none of the other women are lonely. Despite women out there talking about, yeah, I'm lonely. I really want a man. I'm waiting. I'm tired of waiting. Why do you think they're freezing their eggs? Because they want a man. They're hoping a man comes along someday, stupid. Come on, man. We got to start using our brains. We got to start using common sense. Well, I'm just fine being lonely. Maybe you are because you're a loser. But what about this person over here? She actually wants a man. That's what they keep on telling you, stupid behind, but you ain't listening. I want a man. This sounds great and all for about 5-10 years of my life. But after the 5-10 years of my life is over, I don't want that anymore. And I'm going to turn around and look at you and call you a loser and say, you're alone. You're lonely. You're bitter. Get out of my face. Get away from me. I'm telling you that right now. This is a phase. I don't know what you got going on, but they going to look at you and say, I don't want to be a part of that no more. Y'all out here ruining women's lives. Then talk about pray for the men. Pray that they get it all together. Pray for yourself. Pray that you get it together. You ain't in the right place. You're not a Proverbs 31 woman. Not even close. You in the camp with Jezebel. You in the camp with Delilah. Back out of here.
I'm an aggressive, dominant female, right? So how do I get a guy to break those walls down?
Put the shoe on the other foot real quick. I just want to, note what this be sounding like to me. I can't wait for a woman to come along and bring me into my masculine era. I mean, the right woman to really motivate me to really protect and provide for her. Because most of these women done had me in my soft era for so long that I don't even know if women are really worthy of bringing out my masculinity. So I really got to trust the right one in order to be the man that I'm supposed to be. Who dating me? I say something like that.
Well, you know what's crazy?
Who with me if I'm saying that me being a man is contingent on you being the woman that you're supposed to be? Like, be realistic. You feel me? And again, this not to knock my beloved. I don't know her, and I don't know contextually what she means by having walls up. You feel me? And that's why I said I'm trying to be gracious. But I find too often, especially because it's popular rhetoric, that a lot of women will rather choose to place their healing, to place their progress on the backs of a doing what he's supposed to be doing. Like ladies, bruh, because again, I find it more with women. Take men out of the center of your life and see what that do for you.
hate dating as a woman in tech because if I try to date a guy in tech, they're typically really ugly and they have a whole bunch of nerdy interests that I can't relate to. There's some types of guys who work in tech who are attractive and we might have the same interests, but they think they are too smart and they are really full of themselves, and I don't like dating that type of guy either. If I try to date someone who doesn't work in tech, but they aren't a high earner, they end up feeling too insecure and they aren't able to afford the type of things that I can, like fine dining and traveling. So dating as a woman in tech is not for the weak.
Hey, man. It's really getting spooky out here, man. It's really getting spooky out here, dog. What? I'm speechless. I've got nothing to say. You got it, shorty. It's your world, love. It's your world. Yours a dirty game, man. We are cooked. Stay focused, though.
I'm really sick of y'all acting like relationships are everything they're cracked up to be. They're not. They're not. The jig is up. The only benefit of being in a relationship these days is having two incomes in the household. And the way I see it, you don't need to be in a relationship to do that. I just don't think y'all understand the level of peace you find sitting in the crib alone on a Saturday night. You don't have to worry about your man. You don't have to worry about what he's doing with that thing, who he's messaging behind your back, how many women are ignoring his messages behind your back for that matter. Even being at the crib is more peaceful. You could fart whenever you want to. You don't have to sneak off to the basement bathroom to drop a willy-nilly deuce. You could just let that fly. You could be ugly as all home at the crib. You don't have to worry about impressing him. You don't have to worry about cooking these 5-course meals just to please your man so he thinks he has a good woman. You ever heard of girl dinner? That's the real thing. I could eat a Tic Tac and a cup of coffee with some sugar-free creamer, and that will last me all day. You're thinner, you're richer, and as long as your vibrator and your headphones are charged up simultaneously with a fat sack of that sweet, sticky devil's lettuce that you got at the dispensary for the Lolo, all of your credit cards are paid so you can order whatever the you want off of Uber Eats should you get the munchies and want to eat more than a Tic Tac. You are good. That is golden. That is a level of peace and comfortability that I have never found with a man. This shit's lit. I'm sorry.
You know the man you decided to lay down and create a life with? That you see every day? Why don't you go back and live with him and work it out? Instead of trying to do this over and over again with new guys who ain't gonna marry you. And they got nothing invested in your son. How about that?
He lives with his parents. I don't want to move to his parents' house.
Okay, well, ma'am, you picked it.
I did. I'm not bashing him.
So instead of he moved to his parents, were you guys living in a house together when you were married?
We were, yes.
All right. Any kind of mental problems or anything like that right now?
No. Mm-mm.
Then he could move into your house with your son and put his family back together. I know it's crazy to think that the person you made a baby with would have more of an interest in making sure that your son and his son had the best outcome versus random guys coming through the house just to have interactions with you, knowing they don't want to stay for a long time. Just a thought, especially since you can honestly say today, you didn't really give therapy an open shot. Mm-hmm. But it sounds to me that he's still reasonable enough with you to where he's co-parenting effectively.
He is.
Well, then what do you want? Do you want love, romance? Do you want a soulmate? Is that what you want?
I do.
Then go watch a damn Disney movie. You're a mother. You get duty. Duty to your son, duty to your husband, duty to your family. The women who came before you guys understood that they needed to have a duty to everyone else, not just their fifis.
Boyfriends are not husbands, and y'all need to be careful with this boyfriend crap. The term boyfriend might make you feel secure because the guy has said he's your man and you feel safety and security in what he said. But if we took your relationship to the courts, they'd say, oh, we have no documentation that this guy is your man. What do you mean he said he was your man? No. With a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, the guy gets to use your body. He doesn't have to protect you. He doesn't have to provide for you. And at any time, he can dump you and leave you, and it can be like the relationship never happened. A man has to split his assets with you if he divorces you. He has to pay you the treating boyfriends and husbands on the same level. They are not on the same level. They should not be treated the same. They are not serious. They're just not, and men know it. Do you know how many women waste years of their life thinking they're secure in their boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, then he dumps her and he's married in 6 months? Y'all are out here treating boyfriends like they're your little babies and like they've really committed to you. They've done nothing for you. They said something. They said they were your man. I want to see the paperwork. I want to see the court documents. I want him being like, take my last name. I want him paying for a ring. Stop listening to what men say and let's get some actions in there. He needs to be protecting you. He needs to be providing for you. And we need a document that says he's your husband, not your boyfriend.
I married the nice guy. The guy who made me laugh. I married the guy who was stable, who didn't yell. I married the guy who wasn't afraid to get down on the floor and play with kids. I married the guy who laughed really loudly, who didn't seem to care if anybody was watching. I married the guy who was soft with me, who listened to me on the phone for hours.
Spoiler alert, guys, they are separated, heading towards divorce, which is so disappointing and exactly why so many will say that a man will sacrifice his happiness for his family and a woman will sacrifice her family for her happiness. And it is exactly when loyalty and commitment is not valued over individual happiness. In these situations, 100% of the time, the grass is not greener, and the woman ends up regretting the divorce. But what's unfair and unfortunate for men oftentimes that are committed, that are loyal, they have to go through this sort of loss, and that kind of stinks.
Never underestimate how fast a woman will cut you off for making her feel like she's begging for your love. And it's not going to be overnight, but when it happens, it'll be fast, like a thief in the night. And it's funny because men always regret losing this type of woman. Not the one that's going to get revenge and sleep around and get her lick back, but the one who knows what she brings to the table and isn't afraid to eat alone. Yeah, these are hindsight 2020 women. The ones a lot of men don't even believe exist until they felt the pain in their chest from losing one. She'll walk away from your disrespect without looking back for your reaction. She's the one that's going to ignore men every day because she loves you. But if you fumble her, then you'll become one of those men that she's ignoring. And your begging won't be a bargaining chip once you crossed her boundaries because she knows she gave you every chance to get it right until you ran out of chances and she told you to get out. See, ego and insecurity will cause an immature man to misinterpret this woman's loyalty as too good to be true. Like she's just going to up and leave. Like she's just weighing better options. Whole time, she's only weighing your effort. And if it's adding up to the bare minimum, then it's going to be you that she subtracts. Because, man, you don't lose this kind of woman when your money ain't right or when another man comes along. You lose this type of woman when you start acting like she ain't much to lose. And then she'll show you better than she can tell you.
You know, I find these panda bears hilarious. Hilarious. These women are going to do this and they're going to do that. No, they're not. They're not going to do anything. They're going to be all up in a man's face, trying to figure out how to please and pleasure him. That's what they're going to be doing. These modern women essentially turn into the women that they hate when they get the money that they think that the men have. And the regular guys that actually respected them are still getting up and going to work every day, still have great character, great integrity, still upstanding citizens, right? Now, to be fair, there are some guys out there, well, you know, most people, they have something that they struggle with and they deal with. Most modern women have 10 to 15 things that they struggle with and they deal with. And when I say struggle, I mean, they're not struggling with it. They just tell you, this is who I am, take it or leave it. But these are the women that y'all are talking to. Oh, if he a boyfriend, he not a husband, da 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 da. Nonsense. Nonsense. Oh, what is woman and you gotta be a protector and provider? Nonsense. Nonsense. I don't even know what that other guy's name is, but it's all stupidity is what it is. It's stupid. Stupid. Y'all, they think if you say it enough, that men are going to get on board. That men are going to start acting the way and behaving in which, the manner that you want them to. Notice I didn't say the right way and the correct way. I said how you want them to behave. That's going to be a no for me, dog.